Hi, I'm Adam and welcome back to First Man Photography, and we're getting straight into it today because you join me on what is a stunning, beautiful, foggy autumn morning in this fantastic woodland. The anxiety levels are fairly high because I've sort of worried I'm going to mess this up. There are just so many opportunities all around me. There's an opportunity there. I've got my camera pointed that way at the minute. There's so much going on. I think it's going to be a very fun day. So I would love it if you would come with me and do some autumn photography. Let's go. Before we get going today though, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a domain name, a website or an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. I'm going to talk you through this photograph in a minute, but I am excited today because I'm going to be trying something a little bit new, a slightly different way of making something, a slightly different way of bringing your photography into the physical world. Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. It's certainly been a technical challenge. It's certainly created a lot more work for me, but I think you'll be interested. Stick around till the end to see what we're going to do. Right, I am already set up. I feel like it's one of those mornings where this mist and fog is going to be extremely fleeting. But it is due to get sunny, so I think there's going to suddenly be some awesome light as well. But I want to get one in the can to get me started. So what I'm doing is just using that view there. I was attracted to this tree, this one here, because they are surrounded by this beautiful autumnal fern or bracken. Which is it? Is it fern or bracken? I don't know. But it looks nice in the foreground of the images. Then we go up into the detail of the bark and the texture of the tree, and then into the wood, into the fog, into the distance, providing some nice depth and separation from the background. Things I always look for in my woodland photography. It's then just a sort of case of trying to decide where in the frame you're going to place all the elements, because what woodland photography is all about is trying to look into that chaos of the woodland and pick out the certain forms that are going to produce the most appealing composition or image. It's a lot easier said than done though, a lot easier. And that's why the fog works, because it provides some separation and the forms become a little bit simpler. But at the moment, I'm at f11, 1/5 of a second, and I've upped the ISO to 320 because I just want to allow for that slightly faster shutter speed. Let's have a quick look at that. I think that's really rather nice to start the day. Right, I am just exploring through the woods a little bit, and I found a composition in a tree that I really liked, but there is someone camping. Their tent is in the background, so that's kind of ruined that shot. I'm not too bothered. They're not doing anything wrong and enjoying this beautiful woodland just as much as I am, I suppose. But I can see blue sky above me now. The opportunities are coming. I need to find something. Right, I'm set up for another shot now, and I think this is going to have to be my kind of primary shot of the day because it's when the light is going to be at its very best. And I've had a little look around, found this scene here, which I just think is fantastic because I'm surrounded by these beautiful autumnal brackens, and they're still holding all their shape and form and they don't look that withered. They're just a beautiful orangey brown, and it just looks fantastic. The shades of red in there as well, and that is dominating this scene as the kind of landscape goes up the hill with some of those autumnal trees. Those orange leaves just look fantastic. The mist is then coming and going, so I'd sort of found this composition, set up, and then the mist had gone and I was absolutely gutted, but it's just come back. And I just want to capture that moment when the sun is there, but it's still being diffused by the mist. But it's enough light to bring that colour and vibrancy to these awesome colours, because that's what I want. It's then going to create a bit of a backlit feel. It's going to feel magical and really match the mood of what I'm seeing here. So I'm having to bracket the image because the dynamic range is absolutely huge. So technically a bit of a challenge, but I'm at f11, 1/20th of a second, ISO 100. It's then just the case of the light. And that is what I'm going to wait for, just for another couple of minutes, I think, and then capture that perfect moment, and then I'll show you the image. Right, that light is now absolutely stunning, and I feel a little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. I feel like I'm wasting it walking around in the woodland because everything looks great, but the conditions are that good that I want to capture something fantastic and something exceptional. So I'm putting a bit of unnecessary pressure on myself. What I think I'm going to do though is hightail it back to a location you may have saw at the start of this video, because I do like being in the woodland, I love the woodland, but I do also like a view. And because I want to print at least one image whilst I'm here today, before I go home, I want to have a variety of options. So I think going to find somewhere with a view could be pretty special. If I get a little bit of height as well, I think with these conditions there's a very good chance I'll get a little bit of an inversion. So I need to walk quick because I don't want the sun to get too much higher in the sky before I get there. Fun day. Yeah, I think quite a few of you will be happy to know that I have changed my mind and decided not to leave the woodland, because there are just absolutely epic scenes all around me. I mean, look at that. Just look at that. That is actually the same tree that Mally photographed last week. Oh, what a tree. What a beautiful tree. I sort of forgot to photograph that moment because I was enjoying seeing Verity and Mally shoot so much, but I've come back and it's just, he was right. It is a beautiful tree, and I am just about to capture it with this just truly magnificent light. Look at that. Just look at that. And the tree is coming alive right now. 2-second time, I'm at f11, 1/60th of a second, and I'm bracketing because, well, look at the dynamic range and the light streaking through. I'm just cutting the sun out because I don't want that in the frame. That's to the top left of the frame, but it's still backlit and a little bit to the side, and it's just coming down onto that tree and just looks magnificent. Oh, wow. Just fantastic. I'm almost a little bit lost for words, but what I have just noticed while I was talking to you, in fact, is this scene here. And that's looking just as fantastic as well. So let's try and swing round over here. And I think I don't even need to go that far. It's just basically to here to get this little cluster of trees in here. So I'm going to F11 and I want to make it a little bit brighter. Oh, look at that. That is just fantastic. I'm using these sort of 4 trees here. They're all kind of in a row from the position I'm studying. There's some beautiful autumnal leaves on there. I think they're birch trees. There may be a pine in there. I'm not totally sure. The image I just shot there was backlit. Looks fantastic, moody with the light. This is almost entirely front lit, but because that light is diffused and coming through the mist with the warmth, oh, that's fantastic. That is absolutely beautiful. So I'll put them up on the screen now. Let me know what you prefer, backlight or front light. At the moment, I'm not sure. As you know, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Now, in my opinion, Squarespace is just the best place for photographers to build their own website, partly because it's just so easy to do. You don't need any technical knowledge. Using one of their beautiful templates to get you started, you then just pop a few of your beautiful pictures on there, a few of your words as well, and before you know it, you will have a unique and beautiful looking website. If you can drag boxes around on Windows, you can build a Squarespace website, and the great thing thing is as well, it will automatically adjust to fit any screen that is viewing your website. And today that's very important, especially for a phone. You can start with a simple online gallery, and I think using Squarespace and your own website is just the best way to show off your pictures. Social media these days I find pretty miserable, but on your own website you can present them exactly how you want to, make them look exactly how you want, and they're gonna look big and beautiful for people to see. Squarespace will then grow with you into an online store where you can start just as easily selling things like books or prints or calendars or cards or anything that takes your fancy. They also now have a member section, so if you have regular views or regular subscribers, you can keep them coming back time and time again. Keep that interest up, keep people coming back to your website, and I think that is a beautiful thing. So go to squarespace.com to start your free trial today, or use the link down below and then build your website. And if you like what you've created, use the offer code FIRSTMAN. That's FIRSTMAN. Tell them I sent you there, and give Squarespace some love for sponsoring this channel. I was completely wrong earlier. I thought this mist and fog was going to lift, but in fact I think it's got thicker, and the light, or the sun rather, is actually reasonably high in the sky now, but the conditions are still absolutely stunning. And I'm photographing a set of trees that I have seen so many times and never had the right conditions for, but today is that day, and these are the trees just here. Now the other week on a video I talked about the beauty of panorama photography and particularly printing it, but I'm going to do a panorama right now because I love this full set of trees, but I don't want too much of the sky in, and it's quite a wide vista, so I'm going to do a panorama of them. I went through the whole process on the video the other week of how I do panoramas, talked about the nodal point, how many pictures I take, how much to go in by each time, and then how I process them and print them. So do check that video out. I think it's a really good one, and not many people seem to see it, so I'm just going around and doing this. The light on those trees is beautiful. It's sort of side lit, which is just fantastic. So I'm going around as quickly as I can at f11, 130 per second, ISO 100. I particularly love the separation from the background as it goes into that mist, into the wood, as I'm sort of stood on the edge of the wood. I mean, just look at the all the spider webs and cobwebs and the light on the trees. Just awesome conditions today. I'm absolutely loving it. So I think just a couple more shots now, and then let's just do it. Let's go around and finish those up, and then I'll put that image up for you. It's almost feeling too easy, which makes me think every time I feel like that I'm messing it up. I'm going to get back and the picture's going to be rubbish. But I'm fairly confident that's not going to be the case today, like hopefully with this one here. So I'm back to the car, and I have edited one of the images, which you will have already seen, but I think it is a really nice image. I think it's going to make a really nice print. And the point is that when you print your photography, it becomes something physical, something tangible, and something very, very special. It elevates that picture above all the other digital images in the world, and it becomes something, I think, more meaningful, and it's certainly more fulfilling as a photographer doing that. Today is a bit of a test run actually for a video I have planned where I'm going to actually hike the printer up on a hill to take a picture and then print it there and then, ending up with a physical piece of work at the very moment you've made it or taken it or whatever. So today's a bit of a test run. What I am doing is I have the laptop and the printer. This is the Canon Pro 1000. It's exceptionally heavy, so it was difficult this morning, but it's plugged into, and it doesn't plug into the car, so it has to plug into the solar generator. That's just basically a big battery, fantastic piece of kit, and it will power via this sort of 4-bank plug here. It will power the laptop, which doesn't work without the battery anymore because it's quite old, and the printer. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I've never done anything like this before, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. What I'm going to do, this picture that I print now is going to be a 1 of 1, as a couple of the other images from this video might be, but it's going to be a 1 of 1. It's going to be available to buy at the end of the video, so just hit the link down below to go to the raw room. You can see it there, and if you're quick enough, you can buy it. And I think probably I'm going to call it Mally's Tree. So hit the link down below, and by buying that image, you will be supporting me, supporting this channel, and helping make these videos possible. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please wait to see the print, because I think it's going to be good. And I'll see you on another video very, very soon. Let me know what you think as well. I love to hear from you. Bye. What a beautiful tree.